I was shocked. But I'm in for the idea. I just hope they don't make it as inappropriate as they did for the original Dragon Ball and GT. They did good in making it more appropriate in Z in the past, and I hope they keep that trend up. But I'm all in for it. Hello everybody, Skippy Gamer here. Welcome to my video review of, if it comes up, Dragon Warrior, the original NES version. I think it's time for a little history trivia. This is the Dragon Quest series. In Japan, this game is called Dragon Quest. However, in transporting it outside of Japan, it was somehow copywriting illegal to even call it that for us Americans. So they decided to call it Dragon Warrior instead. A couple years later, a couple games later, America somehow got the rights, and possibly other countries got the rights to call it Dragon Quest from that day forward. But I don't know why it was copyrighted anyway. I honestly think it's stupid. But hey, that's me. That's me. This was made by Square Enix. Yep, Square Enix. They were once called Squaresoft back in the day, and nowadays they're called Square Enix. I guess it was around this time too. Oh, I forgot to mention. This game was requested by GoodGiz30, a very good friend of mine. I'd like to thank him for making my avatar and banner during this whole gameplay. And, if you've been catching up on his channel, he's about done with Let's Playing. Possibly forever. That doesn't mean he's done with YouTubing. You know what? You could go to his channel and I'm sure he'll explain it. But man, he had a good run. I thought he would go further. So I guess we could count this as a farewell present for GoodGiz. Well, in his Let's Playing sort of thing. I kind of like the ideas he's having right now for his channels. Yeah, he has 2 channels. You know what? You might as well go to his channel and you'll find out why he's doing this and what he's doing. Alright, let's begin before this gets awkward. Alright, let's start. Okay, let's start this off with, you guessed it, the story. You're in the kingdom of whatchamacallit, and the king has told you that the princess has been kidnapped by the Dragon Lord. The Dragon Lord is pretty much the main villain of this game. He's been wreaking havoc all over the land, and it's up to you, the descendant of an ancient hero called... what's his name? Edric. That's it. Sounds like Elric from... you know, Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist. Moving on. Throughout the whole story, you're going to go all across the land to search for the princess and defeat the Dragon Lord. But that's not all. However, that's not all. You need to collect 3 tablets left by your ancestor, Edric. Edward Elric. Moving on. You need to collect all 3 tablets so you have a chance against the Dragon Lord. I gotta admit, the main name for the villain, Dragon Lord, it sounds cool. But along the way, you have to find the princess, and people have said that, oh, she's that way, to the east. Oh, she's north, she's south, she's east, she's west. In between. So, I guess people don't know where she is, but I have a feeling she's at the Dragon Lord's palace. So, we pretty much have 2 objectives for the story. Find the princess and defeat the Dragon Lord. Plus get 3 tablets. That's 3 jobs overall. Okay, I gotta be honest. The story is too simple. I mean, they tried to make it a bit cool and stuff by adding a Dragon Lord and maybe a tablet and stuff, but quite frankly, that seems too simple. I mean... it's almost like a normal knight saves the princess from the evil lord sort of thing. That's what they're going by. But they have tried and, like, you know, have you find 3 tablets and stuff. And how to find the princess, how they say, oh, she's that way. Oh, she's that way. I guess that is a bit different. Of course, they try to make it a bit original than ever, but to me it just seems too simple to me. With all of this and more, I decided to give the story 2 stars. next is music. Put away your guitars, we're not playing, we're listening. Now, no matter what you hear, you have to remember something. This was made from the original NES, and no, it's not laggy like this. This is my emulator acting up to my recording mostly. So it sounds better than this. Now, back in the day, all gaming sounds sounded a bit like this, with the whole do-do-do sort of thing. The sound effects that sounds like a piano with a I don't know what to call it. Now, I don't know if I really have the... Now, of course, they have tried to make the music a bit like original encore, maybe. I think they have, but the music isn't really like encore that I would like, oh my gosh, I want the soundtrack or anything. And yes, this is from the normal NES, so yeah, it would sound like this, but either way, I kind of don't like it. Sound effects are okay, I guess they're around the same. And I guess they're no big deal, they're just sound effects. With all this and more, I decided to score the music 2 stars. At least not like 3 stars. Okay, let's enjoy the art of the game by its graphics. This is the normal NES, so it's quite obvious graphics aren't really that big of a deal. But if you actually took a look at the trees, the stones, the grass, and the mountains up there, there. I pre-recorded this before the audio, so yeah, it's moving on its own. They do have some detail to them, but the trees look like fish? Oh, but the battles, yeah, they go really in detail of the enemies. It's kind of a bit like the Earthbound series. The environment is a bit detailed except for certain parts, although all the enemies while you're in battle are a bit detailed, considering they're in your face the whole time. Especially this spot looks a bit detailed too. I mean, you gotta admit, this is a normal NES, so they couldn't really have it so HD and smooth and stuff like that, like consoles nowadays. So, the graphics are okay, but one thing that doesn't really stick out to me that good is the character model. Like my main character and some of the other characters there. Which is, yeah, not really my strong point. But I'm willing to overlook that. With all this in mind and more, I'm gonna give this 3 stars. Now, out of all the categories, what is the most important thing a game must have? An important thing ever. Nope, sorry, it's gameplay. You're close, but it's gameplay. Gameplay-wise, I guess I want to say it feels kind of the same as normal Earthbound would be. Although how you move around, it does go on a little grid sort of thing, so it's not... If you pay attention to his movements if you press a direction once, he does go in about a couple paces until he reaches another block. Like say he's on here, he press one button to go right, he goes right. He follows a grid square. In Earthbound, he would move, watch my mouse, he would move like this. You're moving, then you stop. Moving, then you stop. Then you stop. But he follows a grid, and he doesn't stop until he's on the next square. So even if you tap it very, very quickly for him to stop here, too bad, he's going to the next square. So it's grid-based squared. And so is all the other NPC models. One of the biggest downsides is the menu on actions you take, whether it be opening chests, opening doors, or going downstairs. I am actually serious. I'm glad Earthbound had this fixed. Here's the menu. In Earthbound, you either have the option to talk or check, which makes you open chests, open doors, or go downstairs, depending what's in front of you. In this one, you have to be precise on what you mean you want to do with this. So there's no like check or do anything like that. You just have to click the right action. Like for right here, you have to do take. If you try door, status, or search, no, that's wrong. You have to do take. Now the talking the talking bit I have no big deal on, honestly. So, yeah, that's out of the way. The door is the same. Make sure you have a key if it needs a key. Then go to the door and press door to make it open. Same goes for stairs. You can't press door on the stairs. You have to press stairs. You actually have to press stairs. Like I said, in Earthbound, all you have to do is press check or search, and boom. You could do the action whether it be stairs or doors very easily, like that. But in this one, you have to be precise on what they mean. And you could sometimes get it wrong, like, sometimes I was confused, like, okay, what to do with this chest? Do I do search? Do I do door? Oh, take. Okay. So that's one thing I actually hate about the whole thing. I guess you could say that the battle system works like any sort of RPG would. You either fight, you run, you do spells, or you have items. It's pretty basic. Although one thing about this series that Good Geass told me, and I didn't think would happen, is that you don't have any partners. You're completely on your own. So yeah, you're gonna have to rely on yourself. I was kind of shocked at this. A lot of RPGs, especially in the form of this, has partners. Okay, with the exception of Skyrim, but that's completely different. Not completely, but anyways. But the grinding, I guess you could say it's as bad as Earthbound. Sometimes you have to go outside and grind for a while to get further. I guess old games like this had that sort of bug to it. It's just grinding. You have to grind to get even a club or the right to pile of armor. And you let the enemies you face outside the palace give you 1 coin each. Or if you run into a red slime, a blue slime leaves 1 coin. If you run into a red slime, it drops 2 coins. Picture that, doing those battles over and over, and try and get a sword. 180. Yeah, you need to do a lot of fighting, which is so disappointing. Yeah, I'm not a fan of grinding, and not a lot of people are, as I hear. You know, forgive me for this, but I forgot to mention something about the graphics. Is this spot? Well, once my character could get in there. This is pre-recorded. It's this door right here. Okay, you go to this spot, and this is a dead end. Although, if you actually go in further, it's actually a door to an item shop. And all this time I thought it was like a secret door to a secret shop. Seriously, you gotta design the doors better. It looked like a brick and there's like a dead-end wall right there. A useless one. And what's worse is, I was told I could get items in an item shop, and through day 1, day 2, day 3, I had no idea that was where it was. So I was like... So I had like no healing items from that shop at all for day 2 and 3. Which is very poor design. Okay, back to gameplay. Some of the items are helpful in certain aspects. The torch, you get it at the very beginning, so I don't think you need to buy another one. And there's a cave you need to go into to get the first tablet. But it never died down, so that's something I'm very glad of. Although I think it did die down once I went outside the cave. My opinion, so... You know, I guess my opinion, I'd say... Get some torches for certain dungeons, because I have a feeling you need to go to a lot of dungeons to get further. I would say 3 or 4 in total throughout the game, but you never know what you may come across. There is similarities between Earthbound and this game. You notice some of them also, but one thing also is to save, and I wish it was extended further in the map so you don't have to come back here. What do I mean by that? Well, to save, you have to talk to the king, and it shall be saved. And if you die, you always get resurrected by him, with all of your... with everything saved. You know, might as well get to the game over later. But either way, one downside to that is... the king is not everywhere, so you can't just ask... Hey there, king, can I save at this spot? Or something? I think you have to walk all the way back here and do it. Now, there's probably a way to do it later, like in other places, close to the Dragon Lord, or maybe a different town or something, but I sure haven't noticed. And you know what? it's a downside that I'm glad they really fixed in Earthbound. It's disappointing. Now, dying does have punishments like Earthbound. Like Earthbound, you could die, but then you get resurrected at the save spot you last saved. But everything you did before you died will be saved, whether you saved or not. So that's good. However, it does come with a price. I don't know how much gold gets taken away, but yeah, gold does get taken away. I don't know if it's half of it, maybe half of it. But either way, whether it be little or much, I ask you to be very, very careful. So yeah, there is punishment for when you die. With all this of the gameplay and more, I decided to give it 2 stars. With this whole review in mind, and with other subjects that who knows could have changed the score, but either way, for this review, I'm gonna give it 2 stars with a bronze medal. Yeah, I don't think that's how you spell it. Okay, I think. Pardon my mispronunciation. You know, it took me until the review I'll make the footage to notice that these are thrones, not just normal blocks. Another false design choice. But I gotta admit something. The color designs for the water and a lot of the blocks and the clouds and the mountains and stuff like that, certain parts of the world does go a bit red once you're close to dying. Even when you're out of battle, it is like that, so that's kind of cool actually. Kind of. Alright, well that's it for this review. Thank you for watching, everybody. And as you can tell, I made sure I got the review up just in time, even if I had to rush doing it. I'm not saying that's what I did, but even if I did. But hey, you could tell I really didn't want the same mistake as the Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury incident of the review. I'm so sorry for that. I cannot be sorry enough. But hey, at least I got this up in time. Alright, anyways. So thanks for watching this video, everybody. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to this channel, no swearing in the comments, tell friends and family about this channel, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Whenever that'll be. Alright, see ya.